Hello and welcome to Fusion Tech. Today I'm going to be talking about Motorola's new line of smartphones. Now recently, Motorola has released 3 new smartphones for the consumer market. They have released the Moto X Play, the Moto X... Moto X Style, and the Moto G. Now these are 3 great devices at all different price points so that everybody can get what they need. Now this is a great thing. So I'm going to be talking or discussing these today. Starting from the most expensive and the highest spec to the less expensive, since there's 3 devices. Now, the most expensive in their lineup and the flagship currently is the Moto X Style. Now, I have to point something out. Moto Maker has been added to all 3 of these smartphones this year, so that is not a big selling feature of Moto X anymore. So what's special about the Moto X Style? It has great specs, it looks great, and it's just gonna be all around a flagship smartphone. Now mind you, this is technically an affordable flagship smartphone as it is only $500. Most Android flagships, and even things like the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge, come out for over $600. And the S6 Edge, of course, goes over that mark only because it's got those special features. So this is a great price for a pretty well-spec phone. And if you get it on, let's say, a 2-year contract or something like an Edge plan on Verizon or a pay-as-you-go plan, this will be a great smartphone. And even if you want to buy it outright, it's still great. Now, the Moto X Style is the highest-end flagship from Motorola. It has a 4K screen, so that's great, a 5.7-inch 4K screen, with a 21 megapixel camera that also records in 4K, 3 gigs of RAM, pretty great, that's kind of the standard for flagships right now, a Snapdragon 808. The reason they went with the Snapdragon 808 instead of the 810 is because the 810 has some serious thermal throttling issues, and it's just not that great of a processor, honestly. So Motorola went with the Snapdragon 808 to give users a better experience, and I mean, it's not that big of a jump in specifications. It's not that much worse, and you won't really notice it on a daily basis. Also, this phone has a 3,000 milliamp hour battery, which may sound like a lot, but when you think about it, it's got a very power-hungry processor, and of course that screen is going to be pushing a lot of pixels, and it's going to suck up your battery, but it should last for at least a day on 3,000 milliamp hour battery. So now moving on to the Moto X Play. Now this is the first year that Motorola has released 2 Moto X's. It's kind of like what they did with the iPhone 5S and 5C. The Moto X Style is the more expensive one with all of the greatest specifications and everything that they could throw into it. Moto X Play is the more budget-friendly but still flagship sort of thing. So it's a great phone, less spec than the Style, but it's still a great phone. Now this phone only has a 1080p display, but that's good for most things today. Not much things are in 4K yet. It has a 21 megapixel camera and 2 gigs of RAM with a Snapdragon 805. So of course it's not 3 gigs, but that's because it's less money on contract, and I mean, you're gonna save a little bit of money if you go with the X Play. It also has a Snapdragon 615, which is a great smartphone. We saw it in the what's it called? The Alcatel One Touch Idol 3. There it is. We saw it in that, and that was a great processor, very quick for what it is. And this is going to be able to run anything, pretty much anything you throw at it. So, still a great phone, a little less money, so if you don't have the same amount of money, this is a great budget on contract phone. Now, surprisingly, the Play has a bigger battery than the Style. The Play has a 3,630 milliamp hour battery, which is bigger, which I don't understand because the Style has the more power-hungry screen and the more power-hungry processor, so I don't understand. But maybe Motorola has it all worked out, but this should get you through. Since it has that 1080p display and a little less powered processor, if you really stretch it, you could probably get at least a day and a half out of this phone, which is awesome. Now the Motorola Moto G. This phone I used to have the first generation of, and it's a great phone. Honestly, it's a great phone. And for less than 200 bucks, this is the best new off-contract phone that you're gonna find anywhere. Period. They upgraded the screen to, it's still 720p, and it's still 5 inches. I'm not too keen on the 720p, but then again, this is the all-out budget phone, best bang for the buck. So 720p is going to be great for anything except, I mean, if you're going to be using your phone for gaming and all that, then the Moto G is not for you, but that's not who the Moto G is made for. It's made for people who just want a phone, internet browser, maybe use Facebook occasionally, that sort of thing. It's not made for heavy-duty tasks. It has a 13 megapixel 1080p camera. It's not 4K, but then again, it's under 200 bucks, so you can't complain. 1080p is still great for pretty much everything. 2 gigs of RAM, again, this is awesome for a budget phone. 2 gigs of RAM? Normally budget phones only come with 1 gig, and the last 2 generations of the Moto G have only come with 1 gig, and 1 gigabyte of RAM on a phone is starting to really show. It's starting to really slow down performance, really, especially with lollipops, not the best of memory use, and also apps using more memory. So if you close an app and reopen it, it reloads the entire app. So this is great that it has 2 gigs of RAM, so it's pretty good for the future. Also, it has the Snapdragon 410, which is an update from the Snapdragon 400, which is great because the Snapdragon 400 was also starting to slow down. This will be maybe not an insane upgrade, but it'll keep up, and for 200 bucks, it'll keep up with all the applications that you need pretty well as well. This also has a 2,470 milliamp hour battery, which is less than the other two, but you gotta remember, it's got less processor power that it needs, and it also uses less pixels on the screen because it's only 720. So yeah, that's about it for this episode of Fusion Tech. I hope I could adequately explain these phones. I think they're great. I think that Motorola is going in a very good direction from where they used to be. Lenovo has allowed them to continue operating and being used very well, and I'm just glad that Motorola is going in such a great direction. I'm not going to be getting one of their phones for a while because, you know, I don't have unlimited money, but these are great phones. If you need a budget phone, Moto G. If you don't have a lot of money, but you're still willing to go on a contract or an edge plan or something like that, Moto X Play. If you're really looking for a flagship, and even though this is a flagship, it has flagship specs, flagship camera, 4K camera of course, that 4K screen, I mean, it's a budget flagship. It's a very inexpensive flagship, and it's a great one at that. So, these phones are great. I love them. I'm glad of the direction that Motorola is going in. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye. You can click to my other videos on the right, and you can also subscribe down below with that giant red subscribe button. I am going to Hawaii for the next week, so I'm actually going to be doing a vlog, because it's video blog. It's just like fabulous. It's like the worst name ever, but whatever. I'm going to be doing a vlog every day that I do that, and it's going to be for about a week, and I'm going to do a separate video, you know, starting this. I'm going to put that video out tomorrow, but hope you guys enjoy this episode. Goodbye.